What's up, everyone? Welcome to the channel. Hope you're having a good day. My name's Connor White. I'm going to be bringing you a FB06 Green Broly BR deck profile. This deck is super awesome and super fun. A lot of people are on the fence about this deck, whether it would be good, whether it be bad. I think this deck's super awesome. Maybe not on the level of Halo Ku or the Majin Buu deck, but it is in that same power level with Jiren and maybe a couple of those other leaders. They're just right on the cusp of Tier 1. That being said, the Tier 1 decks are obviously like far above the other decks. So this deck being at the standpoint the place is at, very good meta contender. You can definitely win tournaments with this deck. The thing is a lot of people were on the fence about this deck because they just didn't know how to build the deck right. They had 20 Brolys in their deck, so pretty much 50% of their deck was Brolys. They're playing 12 8-cost Brolys, 8 or higher cost Brolys. This deck doesn't do that. This deck is an actually good deck list. This isn't a net deck list. This is my own list. So just to get into the profile real quick. Also, if you guys like the other content, comment, rate, and subscribe. Also, let me know what you think I could have did better. Comment maybe what you'd like to see in other videos, possible other content you want me to do. Now onto the leader. Broly, what he does, standard 15k leader on the other side. Well, not necessarily standard, actually. When he attacks, he draws. And then what he'll do is when you're at the end of your turn, you could add a card from your life to your hand. And then when you have 4 or less life, you can awaken into this Broly. And then once per turn, you can draw a card and discard it. Sorry if I'm shaking. And then when you attack, he won't draw, but instead he'll evolve a Broly you have. So he's insanely broken. This leader is actually super fun. You can awaken very early in the game, get a bunch of draws off, draw like 3 cards in the turn you awaken. As long as you self-awaken on your turn, you'll draw, attack, a draw, and then after that, you'll draw and discard. So super, super broken. Mark my words, you will see a starter deck Broly deck profile coming from me. I don't know what it is. I read that leader for the first time the other day. Just to remind you guys, I'm new to this game. I've been playing for a few months now. And I noticed that you said when you awaken, you add your life to your energy. We'll make something with that. That's awesome. With that full moon card, that Vegeta card, we're gonna make something like a drop energy deck with him. It's gonna be awesome. But first, what we got is 4 Paragus. He's the cantrip. So he'll reveal the top 5 cards of your deck, and he'll add a Planet Vampa or a Broly BR card to your hand. So he grabs your combo pieces. He's a 5k combo. He's a standard 1-drop in the game. He's pretty broken though. I'm not gonna lie. He just grabs and this deck is especially important. Before I say that, normally in other decks, looking at the top 5 kind of seems like a no-no. A lot of decks tend to stray away from that other than the androids. Green's the only deck where you really can get away with looking at the top 5 because you need to consistently see those pieces for green. Bless you. Sorry, my dog is in the background. Got a Yorkie. Bless you, Bella. So this guy, he adds those combo pieces to your hand, so gotta have him. It's important that we see our 4 cost and an 8 cost, the proper ones at that. So for the game state. Next we got 4 Ba. This card's awesome. It's pretty much just like another gear, and he's a 10k combo. He's a really awesome 1-drop. He's a Planet Vampa card, so Paragus can add him. He's a 10k combo. Oops, sorry about that. He's a 10k combo. And then fortunately he's 5k. He could have been 10k, honestly. This card would have been super balanced and fair still. But he pops 1-drops, very important because that outs Sharpeners, it outs Cantrips, it outs Murrays and Chilais in the mirror match. So, in other green decks, any green 1-drop, it just clears the way, helps keep the board empty, because you want to have the board as empty as possible when it gets into your Broly turns. That way you don't have to recover from so much tempo, and then they're just jamming your face in. So you try to mitigate that along the way. Next we got 4 Chilai. Some lists are cutting this card. I'm still playing 4. I like to insulate my board and force them to have more cards. If I have this, they can't just go absolute lightning on my Broly. So I don't see why we wouldn't play this. Additionally, there's a Broly, the 4 cost. You discard, he plays a 1 cost from your hand, and then he adds the cost to 3. So this card's broken because you could do on turn 4 if you have 5 life, is go swing, discard, play Chilai, self-awaken. He'll become level 7. You'll have Chilai out. You can go attack with Broly, awaken. You'll have drawn 2 there. Then you'll awaken first, not attack with Broly. Awaken first, because if you yeah, very important, actually. Let me not get ahead of myself. You have to awaken before you attack with this card, because you'll miss the chance to evolve in the turn if you self-awaken, because it's when attacking. So you can't go when attacking, draw, awaken, draw, and then break a card, and then draw, and then evolve a Broly, obviously. You know what I mean? So You got to make sure you self-awaken, then attack first. Or awaken, then attack first, obviously. But Chula's awesome. She insulates your board. It makes it so they have to have those other one-cost cards like Girin or their Pa to out this card alongside your additional guys. So it's like you have a Broly that can't be KO'd once per turn. He's 50k. You have this staring him down, like the Chila staring him down also, and you're sitting at like 10 to 12 cards in hand. Very hard to out. It's actually a little bit degenerate, to be honest with you, the deck, because it just puts these big bodies out, and some decks, like, there's just game states where decks just can't deal with that. You didn't draw your proper cards you needed. Okay, well, I got this 8 drop now that you can't answer. And then this is going to make it even harder to answer. Also, this deck, I feel like they needed self-awakeners. I'm not playing Nappa. Nappa's bad in this deck, actually. It's just too late in the game, and they pressure you. You have to play these to 1-drop cantrips, because this is going to be the way for you to safest awaken on turn 3, and it lets you play the most cards up until turn 4. Like these extra cards, like this Planet Vampa card, or the Shuddering Roars, Warm Greeting. So it's easy. It's nice to have the cheap cards to help us get there, so that way we can awaken on like 3 or 4 and just start going nuts on them and drawing a ton of cards. Chila, I think, is stable. You could cut it to 3. Right now I'm playing 4 though. And again, just to remind you guys, this is how I play my decks. This is by no means an end-all be-all deck list, but I would highly suggest you taking these deck lists to a tournament. I know for sure that these deck lists aren't bad. They just would need some updating at one point, obviously, depending when you watch the video, or if new cards come out, things like that. We got next 4 Murray. He's a 10k combo. He's broken. He's pretty much like the premier green 1-drop at this point, for me at least. Because green, you could draw. There's always cantrips, but this guy's a 10k blocker, self-awakener. Very good for green. Green loves this type of card, especially this deck in general. You know what I mean? Like, wanting to like awaken really fast, and then knowing it's like, all right, cool, at least I have this blocker to back me up. If all hope is lost, is just a nice thing to have. It's just a nice peace of mind. Additionally, this card, he helps make you, like, having these 1-drops helps to make the 7-drops Double Striker Goku live, obviously. It's important to have that card, live, because what you do is they think they're safe, and you can evolve your bullet to a 9 cost, and you hit them with 2 giant-ass Double Strikers in 1 turn. This and the Chila enable you to do that. Next, we got so that's all the 1-drops. Got a fair amount, a little chunk. I think that's 16 1-drops at the moment. Next, we got the 4 costs, so skipping right to 3. No 2s or 3s, because there's no Nappas, no Krillins, no nothing. Next, we got 4 Broly, so this is the best Broly. He's a 30k 4-drop. Always 7 cost, very important. You don't have to do anything to make him 7. So as soon as he comes down, you can instantly tap your Planet Vappa to draw. And then when he attacks, you kill a 1-drop, and he's at 30k. So he swings, pushes a life pretty effectively, kills a 1-drop. So you can go, like, in the first couple turns, right? In theory, you can go, like, they go first. You go, like, bomb, 1, kill a guy. Your turn 2 comes. You can go, like, swing with leader, you'll draw, activate one of these removal spells, possibly, to clear the board, to keep it clean off of a 2-drop, possibly Videl. Turn 3, you'll go, like, any combination of 1 to 2 cost cards, right? So, like, removal spell, 1-drops, leader draw, that type of thing, play Planet Vampa, etc. And then turn 4, or if you have marker, you'll play a 4-cost Broly to start prepping your whole turn out. So that way on the following turn, you can go ahead and either play another Broly with your leader, or you can start using your energy for pushes and make this an 8-drop. So he is definitely the best one. Don't see myself cutting him down at all. And then there's actually a second copy of Broly. I'll put them right here, actually, the Brolys, the 4-cost Brolys, because this is a bit of an engine deck, engine pieces right here. So this is the one that says when attacking, you can discard, play up to 1 battle card with the cost of 1 from your hand, then add 3 to the cost of this card for the turn. So he lets you play your 1-drops out of hand when you attack with him. So discard, play a 1-drop, and you have these cards. They can self-awaken you also, so they'll draw you a card. This will kill something, this will draw you a card. So they play extenders. He'll extend for you, either insulate your board, or he'll get you a plus, and set up like bodies for defense. And then you can crack him, evolve into a Broly. So it's very awesome if they don't swing at you. You know what you can do is you can go like turn 4, you'll have 5 life. You can go attack, swing, play Chila Murray, self-awaken to 4, then awaken your leader, draw, swing with leader, bring out 8-drop. Like, it's very real combos. You could probably cut these or find some variation to play the promo Broly. I don't like that one. It requires you to drop an energy to play. So I just feel like that's, dropping the energy. It's going to whenever I found myself, like, I don't even really want to resolve instant Kamehamehas early in the game, because now I'm reducing my hand size very early. You know, that's going to cost you 2 cards, 3 cards, that instant Kamehameha, because you have to charge back up to 4 the following turn. You know, so to keep playing your deck. So as much as I love instant Kamehameha, it is also very costly at the end of the day. I use it for game pushes only, really, or for defense. So dropping energy, I'm not too fond of. And again, this is just my deck profile. You can play what you want. Like I said, I don't want to play 20 Broly's in my deck. This works just fine for me. I'm going to evolve my Broly once or twice a game, and then close out with a double striker or beat him up with my leader or the guy I made the first turn. You know what I mean? It's just, you're not summoning 5 Broly's, guys, so relax. You got it. Just cut the Broly's down. Play a more simple engine. That way you can have space for a lot of non-engine like I have in here. So that way you actually start winning your games, because you're going to start, realizing the issues of the deck are like, all right, well, I have this big, giant, clunky hands that do nothing. And yeah, you can pitch them for defense, but you're not actually proactively advancing your game state when you do that. Or preventing them from playing. Like by this will kill it 1-drops and stuff, clearing the board effectively. Next we goes right into 7 costs. This deck's pretty interesting for that. We got some 4 super combos. Not much to say about those. We got, this card's cool. 2 double striker Gokus. I love this card. This card is just definitely premier double striker, right? Like, he's a 45k 3 cost double striker, And so how he costs 3 though, is when you have 2 or less life and you don't control the Goku, he reduces his cost in hand by 4. What's also awesome though is he's 7 cost when he's in play. So that means that if you don't kill them, or you're using this to like just push for damage, Chilai insulates him, because this protects 7 costs. So him plus Chilai, which is also a combo, right? You can play Chilai, Self-Awaken, drop Goku now. And it's a pretty good interaction. Now you have a 45k, can't remove by skills, double striker, or you can even make it 50 if you'd like. Just to, get your life where you need to be, and then just keep pushing for damage. But this card's really awesome. I see someone's playing 3, and I've actually considered it just because of how busted this card is. Just don't want to break. There's a lot of high-cost cards in the deck already. And I know I've already tweaked a lot of my ratios to fit less high-cost cards. That way I have a more consistent deck, especially in the long-run tournament, man. Like, yeah, like, you can have a super powerful Broly deck, and it's like, oh, man, like, I consistently drop my 9 cost, but it's like, all right, like, that shit's not going to work every time. They're going to warm greeting you. You need multiple other means than just, like, trying to play the evolved Broly stuff. This card helps you facilitate that. Yeah, you should just pretty much just a stable in every green deck at the moment, by the way. Green gets low on life. They're like the healing class, obviously, so that card 2 to 3 of. Next, we got the Brolys. These are like the busted guys. This guy's super awesome. So he can't be KO'd once per turn. And then on play, switch this card to active mode. Then if your life is at 2 less, add this card, the top card of your deck, to your life. So it's important to note that he switches to active mode because this Broly brings him out in rest mode. So he'll switch to active, you'll gain a life. It's really important to also note that you'll use life as a resource, right? You can start reducing your life with Murray and Chilai, and then start regaining and healing your life back, so that way you can keep a constant flow of cards and card advantage. He's also 50k, so they take a few cards to swing out of this guy. This will be like 3 cards off them, or 2 cards off them minimum, every time he attacks. Anytime any Broly attacks, 2 card minimum swing that it gets. And so what you can do after that is let this guy live, insulate him with Chilai, and then you can next turn, following turn, bring out the 9 cost, board clear, heal another life, double strike your guy. So this guy, you could maybe cut him to 3 and play more of the other 8 cost Broly, but I like 4. He's pretty much the main way to play the deck, to be honest with you. Is at 4, because it's like, when you are going to get low on life in some games, like where you want to commit and dig deep into your life, so that way you can keep your resources going, like I said, knowing that you're going to heal them back. So this guy is a 4 of for sure, because he's like the safest thing to evolve into. Oh yeah, and it's just like also the safest thing to evolve into, because the other Broly will come out in rest mode, he'll pop and draw, but you can't like swing with them. You know what I mean? So granted that this guy, he'll gain a life, and then he can swing with them still. So it's just the safest option to evolve into. Next, we got 2 of this 8 cost Broly. He's busted. He's super fun. You know what I noticed? I thought this was the original artwork Broly, but it's actually the one from Super still. So it's awesome because it's still like in theme with the deck. Little side note, I noticed that. I thought it was pretty good. Pretty cool. So he'll on play, draw a card, pop a unit, KO any unit, and then when attacking, once per turn, switch his card to active mode. So he's like, this is the pressure. This is the pressure right here. He comes out, he's 45k attacks, kills a unit, draws. Following turn, they have to kill him. So this is one you really want to insulate with Chilai, because this one you'll have to, they'll either have to use a card to out him, like Absolute Lightning, right? Or you'll have to start swinging into him. At that point, you start dumping your hand. And then the next turn he'll come, he'll restand, you'll swing twice, and then you'll evolve him to a 9-cost Broly. So you just start onslaughting them. This guy, shout out the Ultimate Battle artwork, because I need some of those. This guy with that Ultimate Battle artwork is crazy. Next, we got the 9-cost Broly's. I'm playing 2 of this. This guy, 3 is too much, guys. It really is. Like, the 8-cost, like, for me, you could do this. Don't get me wrong. Like, it comes up where you'll seek this card out. You'll have this. You'll draw into it. You draw a lot of cards in this deck. You'll draw within 20 cards within the first 4 turns of this game. You'll get through half of your deck. So you'll see this card. You also have, he's not the only double striker in your deck. You have the Goku, like I mentioned. And then he also heals a life. Sorry, I know I'm going fast, but what he does is on play, you'll switch him to active mode also. Then you destroy everything that costs 2 or more in the battle area, and then you gain a life. So, excuse me. He'll come out and be a humongous tempo swing. Swing 55 at their face, right? What's cool about this is normally when you drop the 9-cost Broly, you still have 4 energy standing because you're evolving a 4-cost, an 8-cost Broly. So you didn't have to play a 4, make an 8, make a 9. You need to go 8 into 9, still have 4 energy standing. So the 9-drop Broly turn is super powerful because it's him coming out, swinging, leader swinging. The leader will draw and discard. You'll draw for turn. Then he'll swing, take 2 cards from them, possibly threaten them, you know what I mean? And what's crazy about my deck is I haven't exposed it yet, but I'm playing Destructo Disc in my list. Some people are playing that, the Shock Collar, Rampage Collar. It gets 25k if you control 7 or cost more Broly. I didn't like that it had the requirement. So what I've been doing, I've been like, boom, going to 8-cost, summon this dude down, swing for like 75, or combo off a 10k or 5k to become 85 or 80k crit double strike at their face. They're either going to dump their whole hand to out that. At that point, you'll drop your double striker Goku and finish them off. Or they'll take that hit. They'll go straight up neg 2 cards to the discard pile. And then you'll still, because they're going to try and, I want to save my life for the next hit. Which they're not living because you're going to put this dude up to more than 100,000. You're just going to straight up one-shot them with this deck. Very awesome to do, actually. That's what's cool about this deck is it's like such a unique playstyle. You just straight up blast them. With this deck, you just come down, boom, beat up a guy, blast their life away, and then that's about it. But yeah, 9-cost Broly, you could play 3. I like 2. You know what I mean? The third just has never come up for me. Next, we got the extras. So we got 3 instant Kamehamehas. This is like pretty much a staple in green at this point. It's just free. You know, you could spend a burnt energy to gain 15k. It helps you push for game. It helps out, like, if they put you to 4 energy with Warm Greeting. This is your out to that. So, in green matchups, you actually have to hold on to this card in hand. So that way you can play around their Warm Greetings. But this card's awesome. Wouldn't say play 4. 3, I think, is a nice balanced number where you won't see too much of it. You'll have it when you need it. You can feel free to charge a copy, knowing that you'll see another copy at 3. But won't dead draw too many of them. Next, we got the 2 cards. This is the experimental card in my list. This is Destructo Disc. You could play the Rampage Collar. I just like this. Like I said, the only difference between this and Rampage Collar is this is your turn only. Rampage Collar requires you to have a 7-cost Broly. So they both have their restrictions. The other one does give 5k more, but this one I just like found myself like using. I wanted more offensive pushes with my deck, right? So what I can do now is I can like kind of force. It just forces more cards out of them, really. Like let's say I have in mind that I told you about the double strike plays. You know what I mean? You can go double strike plays with Destructo Disc, make your guys huge as fuck, and they're just giant double striking crits. Or what you can do is like just use this to push offensively to get them to a point where you can double strike them. You know what I mean? Like his cards, a 1 drop, 20k crit card still. So we can swing with our leader, make him 40k crit. Still very good. Then evolve our Broly, make a 9-cost double strike again. Then we still have 3 energy left. Hopefully we're at 2 because if we were critting. Then we can drop our double striker Goku, dump our whole hand, and you know what I mean? Like, it's a lot of damage, and it's a huge swing. That's what's interesting about this and that Rampage Collar is in the instant Kamehamehas is like, just to put you guys on game, is like, if I resolve this and this, that's 35k between those two, plus this, 55k, you know what I mean? So you're going up right up to 90k between these two right here, 90k critting double striker at their dome piece. That's a lot of damage. And then you still have all your other hands. Like, you know what I mean? Plus your leader swing, plus all the cards you took from them up until you even swinging with this. You know what I mean? It's a huge, huge body that they have to deal with. So myself personally, I've been liking Destructo Disc. You could cut it. Highly recommend it, though. I would say give it a try. I've been actually enjoying it. Oops, the only thing I said that I don't like about it is you can't use it defensively. But there isn't really, I think, a premier 1-drop green extra that we can use right here. It's just the only like 1 to 2 options. 3 options would be like running a 4th instant, which I don't want to do. But yeah, feel free to cut this card. I've been preferring this. Next, this is kind of a questionable card, but I think this is a staple. You can play full power or this. I'm playing this because I want to make sure I have a direct out to green and a mirror match. So I'm going to play 2. I was playing 3, but I cut it for just a more consistent card in Shuddering Roar just because you don't want to give them an energy every single time. But this card's very good. I couldn't see myself playing it. I wouldn't see myself playing a green deck ever without playing this card in it at least 2 copies for the foreseeable future. Unless like some type of format change happens where Jiren's just not in the meta or something like that. Or green Broly is just not in the meta itself. But this card's probably just going to be in every green deck for the foreseeable future. I don't know if you guys ever play Hearthstone. This card reminds me of a card called Naturalize, which, by the way, did enter the Hall of Fame, which got banned, essentially. And all it did was kill anything and your opponent drew 2. So the fact that they're getting the resource is cool. It's just the fact that you know that this is going to out cards via a game mechanic by adding to energy and not KOing is what makes this card busted. It also hits field spells, which is important. So you can hit Planet Vampa, and you can hit Orange Star High School. And you can hit cards that want to be in drop, like Pilafs and Videllas and things like that. Buhans, you know what I mean? Things that want to be KO'd or that you wouldn't be able to normally get through. This card hits those, and it replaces itself. This card's very good for 2. Next, we're almost done. We got 3 Shuddering Roar. This is like the other 2 cost removal spells. Pretty premium. If you have Broly BR as your leader, you can choose a battle cost, a card with 3 or less in your opponent's battle area, KO it, then draw. So we got 5 removal spells pretty much. These are like matchup specific. These are like just kind of generic. You can kind of throw it into anything because it hits like all the stuff you need to hit. Videl and Buhan, right? Those are the main decks. Obviously, we're trying to beat those. So the deck's kind of geared to beat those decks, of course. But you could do like any kind of combination of numbers of these, or play that full power card that green plays when you have 2 or less life. KO 2 units that cost 4 less in your opponent's field. I just prefer to play this because they're playing it's good against Jiren. This is just better into Jiren, so I'm gonna play those. Next, last card is 3 Planet Vampas. You could play 4 of this. I don't like playing 4 of cost of a field spell. Just because you know one's dead for the rest of the game. You draw lots, you will eventually see this card. If you don't, it does kind of suck because this card is a free draw every single turn while you have a Broly. But this card is what really is, it's overwhelming, you know what I mean? Because let's say you drop this on turn 2 or 3. Turn 4 comes, you'll draw. So you'll draw 3 cards of the turn. You bring out 8 draw Broly. The next turn comes, you'll draw 3 more cards. You know what I mean? So you draw 6 cards while this is in play when it's live. In 2 turns, you know, leader, draw for turn, Planet Vampa, draw if you have a Broly. So that obviously you just clearly out-resource your opponent with this card. Over the course of a long game, this card will draw you 3-4 cards sometimes, all for 2 that you paid at the start of the game. So Planet Vampa is very broken. You could play 4, like I said. Also important to note, Paragus can add Planet Vampa too. So you might not need 4 also, right? Because you won't need to add a Broly every time. So then Paragus just adds it. But yeah, that's the extras. That is my Broly deck, guys. I hope you like the deck profile. This deck profile is this deck is a very good deck. I think this is a very good starter template deck to a more competitive Broly list that isn't playing 20 Brolys like I keep mentioning. This is a deck list that you could definitely take the locals, kind of tweak on your own, maybe to adjust some ratios. But for the most part, this deck list has pretty much got it all in there for everything you need, or to win a game, or to like make some type of impact with this deck. I'm a big fan of this deck. I'm a believer. People kind of gave up on this deck after they just realized that they didn't know how to deck build. So comment, rate, subscribe. Let me know what you guys thought. Stay tuned for more deck profiles. I know I've been kind of procrastinating this Majin Buu deck. It's not like it's the craziest thing ever, you guys. It's pretty much relatively the same thing, but I just want to make sure I drop a good video on that. And I had like posted one previously. It was super long, so I think I'll do a short deck profile, a long deck profile, like a guide for those who are interested in that. And then look forward for my blue deck profile and my yellow deck profile. Like I mentioned, those are on the way, as well as more content coming soon. Thanks, you guys. Bye.